The total cryptocurrency market cap could reveal a shocking truth about where we are right now in this market cycle, where we could still be going in this market cycle. And it's a very important chart to watch because this is the big picture when it comes to crypto. This is 100% of all the coins. Everything you've ever heard of in crypto is represented by this one chart, half of which is made up of Bitcoin, 20% of which is made up of Ethereum, 3% Solana, and the other 27% is every dog coin, DeFi coin, shit coin you could possibly imagine or have ever heard of. It's the whole bag of crypto coins. The entire market cap of this $2 trillion asset class represented in one chart. And it's very interesting what it's showing us right now. I don't want to dive into that with you, discuss where it is right now and where we could be going. But an important asterisk to this whole conversation is that I could be totally wrong on my assumptions here when it comes to the cryptocurrency markets. You have to keep that in mind. Investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all your money in a very short amount of time. Why do I say that? Because I cannot predict I don't have the crystal ball, right? I can't predict if there's going to be a US recession next week or next month or next year. We have lots of indicators that are showing that we could have a reckoning coming in the not so distant future for US markets, but it doesn't mean that we can't have some pretty wild market conditions before that happens. Because if you get a major US recession and people are saying this is going to be the big one, new Great Depression, it's all over, man, pulling a hair, gnashing of teeth, it's going to be bad. Or it could be a very shallow recession. The contrarian take is that most people are usually wrong. And while everyone's now sitting around going, recession's coming, maybe a recession doesn't come. Maybe we get a standard 4-year cycle. And the things we're going to discuss in this video end up kind of playing out, which would be kind of crazy. So keep that in mind, okay? This is the bull thesis we're talking about here right now, trying to have a look at the charts and see what they're showing us, not necessarily what we just want to see, okay? So let's have a look. Where are we at right now for crypto? Here we go. Now, we had, of course, that massive sell-off recently. This is the weekly charts on the total crypto market cap, okay? We're around $2.1 trillion today. You can see last week, we had a wild week going from 2.14 trillion down to 1.6869 trillion. Huge sell-off in the crypto markets, almost immediately recovered, V-shaped recovery for the total crypto market cap. That's great. That's positive. We bounced off the 100-day exponential moving average. Good. 100-week exponential moving average. We recovered the 50-week exponential moving average, bouncing higher currently. Good. These are very positive moves for the market. You can see we are still under the effect of a bull cross, with the 50-day trading above the 100-day, showing overall bullish momentum still in the entire crypto market. Now, we do have the problem here that we need to start breaking into higher highs at some point, because what have we had happening? We had our peak back here in the middle of March. Then what do we have? We had a lower high and then another lower high. What we don't want to see is this, another lower high. What we want to see, of course, is this, a break of the trend. Is that what we're going to see? We shall find out. But that's kind of where we are right now. The markets have generally been in a downtrend. And although we recovered major moving averages, the 50 and 100 week, you can't argue the fact that until we see a major breakout, which is probably going to need Bitcoin to go beyond $72,000, things are feeling a bit stale in the crypto markets. But is this all just a period of massive consolidation before things really get crazy? Here's some perspective for you, okay? Here's some critical perspective. Have a look at this. This orange line right here represents the total market cap of all crypto coins. We hit a peak in November 2021. Think about that. All of this year's bullish price action, the excitement, Bitcoin going to 74K and ETH up to 4K and Solana teasing, almost getting new highs, but not quite. Meme coins going crazy, dog with hat, bleeding edge of technology. They put a hat on the damn dog, man. None of it has moved the needle enough to get us back to previous all-time highs for the total crypto market cap. You're telling me I've come all this way, gone through all this heavy bag holding, the pain, the suffering, the doubt, and we haven't even got back to a new high yet for the total crypto market cap? I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Straight up. Think about it, guys. Where are we at right now in the market cycle? We are 4 months post Bitcoin halving right now. Historically, it takes around 6 months for the price really to start taking off, which lining up with September, October, and rate cuts and all that kind of stuff. When Bitcoin starts moving, cracks beyond 72K, it's going to take the rest of the crypto market right up with it. Okay? That's where I'm thinking. That's where my head's at right now. It's such wild perspective to think that we haven't even got new highs yet. Came kind of close, but not even that close. Came to 2.7 trillion, whereas the last one was 3 trillion. So we're only $300 billion away. And that was at the peak of the madness back here in March, which was a baby rally by comparison to the stuff we saw happening back then. What's interesting too is to have a look like this. You see, because once we break over those highs, that's when the real fireworks start. See, look back here in 2020. We had all this crazy price action. Very exciting time in the markets. It's crazy, by the way. We got down to $100 billion market cap for all crypto coins in 2020. That's crazy, man. Even lower, down to 90 billion. And that's crazy, man. It's crazy. These are times when you're literally watching the markets and thinking, is crypto even going to make it at this point? We're way beyond those days. Anyway, we saw a major recovery throughout 2020. When we finally broke over the previous cap, we had a major price rally on our hands. Now, obviously, best time to buy was down here, right? Just after the breakout of the 50-week EMA. But here's what's interesting is what happened in those months following the breakout of the previous high. We had a 238% price rally. Now, what would happen if we were to see something similar happen again, where we had about a 200% price rally from this level, let's say, right around $3 trillion. 230% takes us up to right around $10 trillion. Now, I want you to remember that $10 trillion number because we're going to see that again in just a minute. Now, that's just past, right? It's not saying this is exactly what's going to happen or any of that kind of stuff, but it's interesting perspective, right? Very interesting perspective. Now, before we get into some forward-looking thoughts with some Fibonacci levels, just a real quick note. If you're not yet signed up to the Wealth Mastery newsletter, you got to get signed up. Check it out. Best damn newsletter in the crypto business. 140,000 weekly readers are getting this to their inbox. Latest on meme coins, altcoins, DeFi, charts, and much, much more. Our readers love it. I'm sure you will too. So check it out. It's free, by the way. Yeah, you can get signed up for free. Link down below in the description or the pinned comment next. Thank you very much. Now back to the charts. So let's talk Fibonacci's here. Here's some interesting perspective on the market for you. So we've drawn this Fibonacci retracement here from the top of the 2018 market down to the bottom of the market in 2018. What a crazy year that was, from 750 billion down to 90 billion. Wowzers, crypto, man. Now, what's interesting is how this played out in the recovery zone. Look at this. You see, because we saw our first major market peak post breakout coming in here at the 1.618 line. Approximately, that's where we saw the prices topping out. It's also interesting, the 1.618 line ended up being major bull market support after the big run up here to around 64K, $2.5 trillion market cap. 64K Bitcoin, $2.5 trillion market cap for all crypto coins. We came back down to about 1.2 trillion, but that was right at the 1.618 Fibonacci line. Now, what's interesting too is that the first major peak came in at the 3.618 line right here. Look at this. Just zoom in on that a little bit so you can see it better. Came in right here, almost exactly at the 3.618 line. Now, after the major retrace, we had our first recovery peak in 21, almost at that level. And the final peak for the total crypto market cap came in right there, the 4.236 line. What's insane, what's absolutely insane is this is a forward-looking indicator. So you could have drawn this in any time in 2019, for example, drawn this chart, and it would have given you these insane levels to watch out for. Now, what's going to happen if we draw this, but for our current market cycle, where do we get to? So I've just shown you the power of these Fibonacci indicators and their predictive capabilities. And look, nothing's perfect, okay? This is markets. No one indicator is ever going to give you all the juice, okay? But there's some very interesting things that start to get revealed here if you start diving in to where we are right now. So as mentioned, we have not yet crossed over the previous important lines on the chart here. So we're just basically now continue to consolidate under previous all-time highs. But where's a first big breakout take us to? Well, it takes us up to the 1.618 line. That's about $4.5 trillion here. Now, that is probably an area where you see Bitcoin around $100,000. Now, if we were to do a similar Fibonacci retracement line on Bitcoin, you would see the 1.618 line and ends up at around $100,000 Bitcoin. The 2.618 line is around $150,000, and the 3.618 line is around $215,000. So let's say we get our first big market move up here to the $4.5 trillion range. So that's $100,000 Bitcoin. That's Ethereum new all-time highs, not necessarily five figures yet, but maybe $7,000-$8,000. Solana's $500-$600 by that point, something like this. So that's an interesting area as a first port of call. If we get as far as the 2.618 line, that's $6.8 trillion market cap. And what's interesting is that we have the 3.618 up here around $9 trillion. And look at this, the 4.236 just over the $10 trillion mark, which approximately lines up with about 230% gains that happened after the previous market cycle peak was broken back in 2018 and 2020, right? So that's very, very interesting. Now, do we necessarily have to get to any of these levels? No, obviously not. And maybe you don't get up to these levels, but that would sort of be, for this cycle, the top peak areas. Now, how long does it take us to get there? Will a U.S. recession throw all of this off and make all of this meaningless? Who knows, guys? Lots of variables in the market. And again, I don't have that crystal ball, but we do have charts. We do have speculation. We do have our theories and models. So this all becomes very, very interesting. So if you're looking for take profit levels, these are the three right here, where you might see the markets finding local peaks and consolidating. The final target is around the 3.618 Fibonacci line. In my opinion, we don't necessarily have to go to a $10 trillion market cap. In fact, that big round number is probably something that could even be a bit too much for the market to absorb. Either we fall just short of there, or we push just past it at the absolute pico top. A lot of drama and craziness and frustration and pain and exhilaration and all that stuff between now and then. But those are the targets. Those are the targets. And it gives you some interesting perspective on where the market is right now, because it's so easy to get so focused on the short-term craziness in the market, the short-term pain in the market, and think about the big picture of where we could be going. Anyway, let me know down below in the comment section. What do you think? Is it possible for us in this market cycle to still see a $6 or $9 or $10 trillion market cap for all crypto coins combined? Or it's cooked, man. It's cooked. US recession's coming. All bets are off the table. We're probably going to not zero, but damn, we're going down. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching.